time I work in construction, and my company just gave everybody iPads because we're moving to paperless. So we're not getting plan sets and more blueprints. Everything's going to be done on an iPad. And frankly, I don't think it's going to work. How about a round of applause if you've ever tried to wipe with an iPad? Just me, huh? So one of the projects we're working on locally is the construction of an outdoor amphitheater right here in North Minneapolis. And I swear, somebody started a rumor that Taylor Swift was going to be playing at that outdoor venue. Because before we even started construction, there were people camping out for tickets. So while I was on site, I took a poll, and 100% of people were upset when their tent fell over. So I told that joke at work, and the HR liked it so much they wanted to hear it in person. I had to go and meet with HR at headquarters. I put on my nice tie, my nice suit, and I spilled coffee on my shirt. And I thought, oh no. So I went to the bathroom to wash my shirt, and I had this great idea. I'd wash my shirt in the sink and then dry it off with the hand dryer pointed at my shirt. And so I washed the stain out of my shirt, and then I look at the hand dryer, and it's not the kind where you can point the nozzle. It's the other kind. You know, the kind where you got to put your hands in and play operations so you don't touch the sides. And so I'm sitting there, and it must have been the children's one because it's pretty low to the ground. And I'm trying to dip my shirt into the hand dryer, drying my shirt before this meeting with HR, and I hear from behind me, ahem! And I turn around to look, and it's the vice president of my division. And I said, I spilled coffee on my shirt. And he goes, oh, I've done that before. And I said, yeah, I kind of feel like an idiot, you know, and I didn't know a better way of doing this. And he said, well, most people take their shirt off first. So lesson learned. So on my day off, I brought my son with me to the construction site. I thought it'd be fun to watch the excavators digging in the dirt. And so we get on site, and we're looking around, and he goes, I want to go in the job trailer. I was like, all right, kid, you know, the equipment's out here, but we can go into the trailer. And so I take him into the job trailer, and the contractor, I'm in there, my coworkers are in there, my boss is in there, and my son goes, dang, I wanted a balloon animal. And I said, son, we're on a construction site. What do you mean you wanted a balloon animal? And he says, loud enough for everybody to hear, Dad, where are all the clowns you told me to work with? So we're having trouble hiring people at work, like a lot of folks out there. And I figured out part of the problem is my HR does a great job screening our applicants. So I'm looking for somebody in engineering, and I got to have an interview with somebody that worked at Starbucks as a beverage engineer. And so I told the HR, you know, stop using your screening software, give me all the resumes. I figured worst comes to worst, I'll at least get some material for my stand-up. And they did not disappoint. So I had one person come in, and I'm looking for construction workers, so pretty entry level. And I said, what would your most recent supervisor say about your work ethic? And he said, that son of a bitch can kiss my ass. I came into work every day and I did my job, and I don't give a f he says about me. That was a pass. So the next person I interviewed, I said, tell me about a time you worked on a team. Pretty easy question. And he said, well, I used to work at a bar, and one time everybody called in sick, and I had to pour the drinks, make the food, run the register, and do the whole thing by myself. That guy was a team of one, and not somebody I wanted on my team. Next person, I said, tell me about a time you worked with somebody from a culture different than yours. And he said, well, we had a barbecue at work, and I was in charge of bringing bacon. And I worked with a couple of those Muslims, and you know those Muslims, they can't eat bacon. Admittedly, this was not a terrible answer, so I helped him out a little bit. I said, so did you bring turkey bacon to be inclusive? And he said, oh no, I brought the real stuff. That's their problem, not mine. It was also a pass. I had somebody else come in. They said they were new to the Twin Cities, looking to get to work, and something about them during the interview was a little bit creepy. Then at the end of the interview, they said, I said, do you have any questions for me? He said, yeah, I got one question. Do you guys do a background check? I said, yeah, we do a background check. And he said, okay, just so you know, there's somebody that used to live in Wisconsin, and they have the same name as me, and they're a registered sex offender. You guys can put 2 and 2 together, but he did not pass his background check. Somebody else I interviewed, I said, what are your strengths? And he said, I'm hardworking, punctual, I work hard, and I show up to work on time. You know, he forgot, good with a thesaurus. The next person answered that question a little better. I said, tell me your strengths. And he said, I perform under pressure well. It's a pretty good answer. I said, can you give me an example? And he goes, bum 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 ba da da, bum 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 ba da da, bum bum. And I gotta admit, after that clean rendition, he was winning me over. So I said, how about your weaknesses? And he said, I'm just too honest. And I said, yeah, I don't really think that's a weakness. And he said, and I don't really care what you think. The next person showed up to their Zoom interview in a hammock. And so again, I'm looking for construction folks, so I figured this guy at least wants to be outside, right? So this guy was an artist, and he had experience doing concrete sculpture, which is a little applicable. And so I asked him the obvious question, why do you want the job? And he said, well, I'm a pretty good artist, and I can draw most things, except for a salary. And so I ended up hiring that guy. First day of work, he shows up at 7:30, and I said, hey, you should have been here at 7. He said, why, what did I miss at 7? I said, your start time. So I sent him out on the job to take some measurements for him. We had just finished pouring a block of sidewalk, and I said, I need you to tell me how much sidewalk we poured, that's what we get paid for. And he comes back and goes, yeah, we did 13 yards. And it's a full city block. And I said, that's not right. How did you figure that? And he goes, well, there's 13 houses on this block, and each house has a front yard, so there's 13 yards of concrete. But I will say this about my artist, he's willing to learn and eager to help out, and those two things will get you pretty far in life. So I'm working on an Excel spreadsheet, and he comes over and goes, what are you doing? And I said, oh, I'm working on this spreadsheet, I'm crunching some numbers, trying to draw conclusions. And he goes, can I help? I said, can you help? My God, yes you can. And he goes, great. Do you want me to draw them with pencil or pastel? So I've been working from home a little bit. Round of applause if you've been working from home. All right, I got a working from home tip for you. If you're working from home and you're feeling stressed out, just press F5 on your keyboard. If you don't believe me, you should try it. Really, you'll find it refreshing. I got a new printer working from home. My wife and I have named our printer Bob Marley. Not because it prints at a pace that makes you think it's living that slow, relaxed reggae lifestyle, but it's because the damn thing always be jamming. I was telling that joke to a friend of mine, and he's a one-upper. You guys know the type, whenever you tell a story, they've got to best your story by one. You know, you haven't slept in a week, they haven't slept in 2. You're so hungry you can eat a horse, they've already eaten 2. And so my friend goes, oh yeah, I've got a 3D printer at home, and I can print a gun. I said, oh yeah, Mr. One-Upper? I've got a Canon printer. That same guy, Mr. One-Upper, and I, we were hanging out with a friend of ours. He just got back from the Middle East on deployment, and he was telling us a story when his convoy got blown up. He hit a roadside bomb. He was okay, thankfully, but I think we can all agree this is a pretty bad day at work. Mr. One-Upper goes, oh yeah, that's nothing. You ever work at Walmart? All right, that's all the time I have.